So now he'll have to do it. And he'll kick it away just outside his spine.
And Hatcher kicks it a mile. I mean a mile. Deion drifts to the left, takes it on the 32, dropped it. Picked it up. One man missed him. Another man missed him. Now he's going wide off to the right. Deion to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40. My God, Deion Sanders is going to score. My God.
Big personality. Deion Sanders has one of the biggest personalities on the planet. His personality is so big that it has its own name. Primetime, or Prime for short. Now, Primetime isn't one of these annoying, arrogant personalities. It's more of a fun-loving life personality. Even if Sanders wasn't a superstar athlete, his personality alone would have landed him somewhere where he would be successful. People always seem to want to be around Prime, so this helped him a lot. Like when he was in NFL, because all the best players wanted to play with him. When he was an analyst, because people tuned in to watch him speak on the sport. As a coach, because the best players want to play for him no matter what school he's at. And as an entertainer, brands want him to endorse their products. Not all people can just let their personality lead them into a room like Deion Sanders can. Always himself. Anytime you see Primetime, he's always the same. What you see is what you get. Most entertainers turn it on when the cameras start rolling. They become a character of themselves. You rarely get to see the authentic person behind the person that you see on TV. And that works, until it doesn't. And what I mean by that is, if you turn your personality on only when the cameras are on, then people don't get to know the real you. And when they catch a glimpse of the real you, whether it be from your social media posts, interviews, or just some random interaction between you and someone else that may or may not have been secretly recorded, people don't know how to take it. They just see a version of someone that they don't know, and they start to treat you differently or support you less. Prime has never had this problem, so whenever you see or hear him, you feel as if you know him personally. That turns into a lot of support from fans and companies, which helps his career keep expanding. No one wants to support someone who doesn't come off as authentic, willing to push the envelope. Right now, the world is tuned into Deion Sanders and the college he coaches, which is Colorado University. The school of choice is not so strange, but the one before that was. Or it seemed so when he chose to be the coach of that university. That university is Jackson State University. Jackson State is a HBCU, or historically black college or university, and that HBCU is a second-level Division I school. It wouldn't have been a stretch to see him take a position at a mid-major D1 school, but he chose to coach at HBCU. That may seem a little odd to most people who know who Deion Sanders is, even though the people of our culture love this move. Now, while coaching at Jackson State, not only did he convince the top recruit from the 2022 class to decommit from Prime's own alma mater, Florida State, and commit to his Jackson State program, he managed to lead them to 2 bowl games 2 years in a row. Overall, his record before moving to the Colorado position was 27-6. That's through the first 3 years, really 2.5 since the first year was cut short due to COVID. Had he not done well in any aspect while coaching at Jackson State, then his career would have taken a huge hit or killed it altogether. But he pushed the envelope and it paid off. That's not the only time Prime has pushed the envelope. When he got to Colorado, he took over a program that had a record of 1-11 the year before. He then proceeded to completely overhaul the entire roster. He brought in Travis Hunter from Jackson State, which was that #1 recruit from the 2022 class that I was telling you about earlier, and a pair of his sons. He released a lot of players from the program and brought in a high number of transfers and recruits, mostly transfers. And he ranked high when it comes to transfers, and he ranked high when it comes to recruits, considering the school that he's coaching. People had a lot to say about this before they even saw his new roster take the field. People didn't understand what he was doing, so they just figured it wouldn't work. But lo and behold, after an undefeated 3-0 start to this year's season, I think people are starting to see Prime's vision. Now everybody wants to be on the bandwagon. Everybody's betting on Colorado. I mean, there's a lot more instances that we can talk about, but I'll save that story for another video on Primetime altogether.
There he goes. Gets a big break. Deion sends it to right. That's going to be gone. Welcome back, Deion Sanders. Yes, sirree. The Reds, a 3-run home run.
I think you get the point for now. Earned respect. If you look up the definition of respect, you might see Deion Sanders' name next to it. For my generation who watched him play, we see an OG who sauced up the opposition on the field and had a crazy demeanor. The new generation see his coaching abilities and see how he can help you be great on the field while also seeing the highlights of when he played. And the generation before my generation, aka our OGs, they see someone as a peer that could do things and live the life that they wanted to live while also entertaining them. You can see that being respected has a huge impact on Prime's many careers. Playing, coaching, etc. His players listen to him. They work hard for him. They follow his lead. It leads to or has led to success so far. His teammates, they played hard alongside him. They spoke and still speak highly of him, and they followed his lead. created endless opportunities. Deion Sanders will always have an opportunity to do whatever he wants because he created those opportunities long before he actually wanted to act on them. He used his personality to keep people's eyes on him, and that led to a lot of commercials, paid appearances, endorsements, etc. He used his hard work mentality to show that no one around him could work as hard as he does. That made companies feel good about putting money behind you, whether it be a team offering you a contract or a studio offering you position to analyze the game. It makes school want to give you the reins to their program early in your career, long before doing the same thing for someone else who they haven't seen proof of work ethic. He also lives up to and outperforms his potential, which means he knows what he's doing. Him knowing what he is doing is the reason he was offered contracts by any team he wanted to play for. Him knowing what he is doing is why he was offered a position as an analyst after his playing days were over. Him knowing what he is doing is why he was offered a contract to play 4 years after he retired and decided he wanted to come back. Currently, his coaching skills are on full display, but his current coaching position is also showing how well he can put together a winning roster, from scratch basically. So who knows, this may lead to him being a GM for an NFL team in the future. My guess is if Prime wants to get it done, then he'll get it done. Now these are just some of the reasons Deion Primetime Sanders is achieving greatness. Hopefully you can learn some from him and apply that to your journey. Y'all be great.